and Tom Sykes as well further back. Bautista finds himself up in 8th position. Bautista finished race 1 in 8th position here yesterday, so that's more or less probably the most he can slow. Still close to the tail of Top Rack Wsbk as they come past our commentary position. The back of the second grandstand on the start finish straight here.
That group's going to be quite interesting over the next couple of laps because those has been able to latch onto the back of Top Rack, hasn't been dropped, and he's been able to bit of challenges coming. When Scott Redding has to look at his pit board at the end of each lap and see it's less than a second to Jonathan Ray, that just keeps the pressure on.
And from Laverty scrapping for all he's worth to try and pick up decent points in this race, but lap 11 and the fights for the moment are further down than the pressure, but for the moment the number 45 Ducati able to ride smooth and pick his own racing lines up front.
I think Jonathan's going to be on course for almost a personal, the fastest lap of the race at 37.1. The pace is a lot hotter in this race than it had been yesterday. We know that Ray's got that harder tyre.
And Lowe's is coming back at Wsbk for 4th position, made up a couple of tenths of a second on the Turkish rider last lap around. So at this fight,
you're able to pick up all of your points all the way through the lap. You can control the race, you can manage the tyre, but you don't want to do that in front of Jonathan Ray. If you give
him struggled to get through on Wsbk, and that kept him out of arm's reach, really, of Scott Redding up front. He's certainly within arm's reach now.
There's a half a sniff of a chance down in towards turn 1. He's got to take it because the race could come back to Redding as well. If you've got an advantage around this Esteros,
pulling away slightly despite giving up the slipstream advantage to the trailing rider Jonathan Ray in 2nd position. Exactly 0.2 of a second was the gap at turn number 1 at the start of lap 13. So Alex Lowe's looking really good. Jonathan Ray here with an opportunity. Scott Redding slightly off power of that Ducati, but it is going to give Jonathan Ray opportunities down the inside line. Is Ray going to be close enough as they head here into turn number
mid-corner? He knows it's difficult to make an overtaking move around here. He's focusing on making sure he can squirt out of the corners, use the power of that Ducati before.
Reduced to 8 points. It was 13, remember, coming into this one, so it's not going to be big margins in either direction as things stand. It was Jonathan backwards. Jonathan Ray the closest he's been all race long.